Hi, everybody. So for those of you who were waiting for me to go live at 12:30, talking about overwhelm, my apologies, my sincerest apologies for starting a little bit later. I was overwhelmed. No, I wasn't really, but I was actually recording an interview for a radio station and we just overran a little bit. So welcome to this live stream. A tad late. I'm not naked. However, it looks like I'm naked and in a sauna. I am actually in my office with a top on. I promise I have a top on, but it doesn't look that way. Anyway, welcome to this live stream. What a way to enter this coaching session, as we're going to call it. My name is Holly Matthews. For those of you who are watching on YouTube or Periscope or outside of, or just brand new to one of my spaces, some of you are watching on Facebook, in my Facebook group, the Happy Me Project Facebook group. You've got this academy, all of that, those spaces. I will hopefully see some of your comments as well as we're talking. And I am a self-development coach. I'm a former TV actress. I'm the founder of the Happy Me Project. All of my stuff can be found on iamhollymatthews.com/all my stuff. Keep it simple for you, right? And I'm also a widowed mom of 2 daughters, Brooke, who's 10, and Texas, who is 8. And I had to think about that there for a second, how old they are. And in today's session, we are talking about overwhelm. And this is because it has come up with a lot of my clients. It's come up for some of you guys who've messaged me on social media. And I am a person that is often quite chronically overwhelmed. And I don't think this is something that you guys necessarily, if you follow me on here, would know about me, because I manage it. I manage the overwhelm by doing things because I recognize that my personality means that because I have a very busy mind, it'd be really easy for me to feel quite quickly very overwhelmed by all of the speedy thoughts in my head. And there are many times when I do feel that way. Guys, if anybody could just let me know in the comments whether they can see me and hear me. For some reason, I can't see any comments. And unless you are being unusually quiet, which is suspicious, I may well just not be getting your comments. So let me know in the comments. Just drop me a comment so I can see you guys, because I can't seem to see any at all. Oh, there we go. No, maybe you were just being suspiciously quiet. Hi, Kat. Oh, you can see me as well. Okay, you could totally see me. You were just being really quiet. You freaked me out, guys. But thank you so much for letting me know. I can see King P. I can see Northern Bex. I can see Eddie. I can see Daniel. And I can see Kat. Fantastic. Welcome, guys. So thank you so much. And Joshua as well on YouTube. So thank you for letting me know. It's just weird when it's just me talking and I start thinking, Is anybody alive out there? It's like Titanic, isn't it? So when we're talking about overwhelm, it is that feeling when you have too many thoughts in your head and you almost just feel paralyzed by them and you can't get anything done. Everything feels too much. And that can happen even if there isn't actually a lot of stuff to do. I don't know if any of you guys experience this, but that can happen when you've got one job to do, but life just feels noisy and loud. Too much stuff is happening. Maybe you feel anxious and that one job overwhelms you. And then what I think often happens is we then pour judgment on that and shame, a little sprinkle of shame on top of our overwhelm, because then we start going, well, other people can deal with this. It's one bloody job. It's one thing that I've got to do and I can't even cope with that. And then that just paralyzes us even more, because then we think, well, I can't even start. I don't know where to begin. So we're going to work through that today. If you are feeling overwhelmed today, raise your hand in the comments section. I'm actually feeling all right today. I don't feel overwhelmed today, but that doesn't mean that won't change at some point today. And I will have to utilize some of these things we're going to talk about. So the first thing that you're going to do, you feel overwhelmed, you're going to stop. You're going to take a moment to just take a breath. Okay, you don't have to do it in any fancy way. Bex is going, hey girl, in the comments there, I can see. Just take a breath, okay? A nice full breath in through your nose. You can do it now with me. Just sigh it out a little. Just sigh it out. Yeah, Kat's agreeing as well, also feeling the overwhelm today. Just let it go for a second, okay? Just stop. Drop your shoulders. let your shoulders drop. It means you just squeeze them up like that to your ears and then let them drop. I'm going to be very careful not to let my bikini drop as well, because that would not be the kind of viewing that we need today. And maybe just check out your jaw, you tensing your jaw, your forehead, your temples. Just squidge them up a bit, shake it out a little bit, and just, okay. Notice I'm feeling overwhelmed right now. Cat saying, wish I could breathe in without coughing. Oh no, you're feeling really like that. Okay. Just take it slow then. Take it as slow as you can. And then what I want you to do at some point, whether you do it now, it doesn't matter, but over the next hour or so, grab yourself a pen and some paper. For those that follow me, I'm a fan of the old pen and paper, okay? And then I want you to write down on this piece of paper, brain dump, okay? Brain dump. And your brain dump is going to be you getting out some of the thoughts. When you're overwhelmed, you have many things in your head open. It's like being on the computer and having all the tabs open, which I have like probably about 100 tabs open on my computer right now. Not sure why, no reason, but it just represents my brain. So we're gonna have hi Michael on Facebook there, afternoon. So we have all of, when we're overwhelmed, we've got all of these tabs open in our mind, and it is too much for our brain to cope with, and we'll just retreat like a turtle into its shell because we don't want to do all of those things. It's too much. It feels too much. Whether it's emotional stuff, the tabs that are open in your mind, it might be, whether it's physical jobs that you need to do, you're going to dump them down on a piece of paper. What is in my head right now? And I know some of you just went, oh, we don't want to open that can of worms, Holly, but I do. You're going to open the can of worms. You're going to put that can of worms on paper. Hi Hannah and Betsy, can't find any paper. Get the paper later. You don't need to do it now. Okay, find some paper, find a pad. You can do it in your phone if it helps, if you prefer to do it digitally. I do think there's something in physically writing things if you can. There's just a touchy-feely, tangible thing to physically writing something rather than typing or that kind of thing. But you do you. If that doesn't feel good or you just don't have any paper, then you could just, it's about getting it out. So you're going to write this stuff down. You're just going to dump it out. I need to take the bins out. I need to send that email. I need to tidy my room. I need to do the washing. I need to get a new car. I need to sort that. And then you're going to look at what you can do today. What's a priority? What needs to be done? Because some stuff's just high priority, that you can't leave it. And in which case you're going to find a way to do that today. And you're not going to expect to do everything. Doing everything's not an option when you feel overwhelmed or you're feeling sad or you're grieving or you're having a day full of anxiety. You're not going to be working to the best of your ability. There's no point trying to do everything then, is there? There's no point pushing through that, because whatever you do is not going to be the best that you can do anyway. So lower the expectation for yourself to, I'm going to do 1 or 2 things today, and I'm not going to have any expectation of anything more than that. But I would like to do these things in the future. So you're going to dump this down. You're going to look at what needs to happen today. What's a top priority? Let's say you've got to fill out some form that you've been just avoiding like the plague, okay? You don't want to do it. It's boring. It's hard. There's steps to be taken in that. And you're going to find a way to do that. Sometimes it helps to tell somebody else, to ask for help, to have somebody around you when you're doing those things. That can be useful. To just write down the steps that need to be taken to doing it. Because when you're feeling overwhelmed, if there's a rock in the way somewhere, if there's some way that it will be hard to do it. So for example, I had to fill some documents out yesterday for a new car. I hate doing stuff like that. I will avoid it like the plague. I hate it. I don't want to fill out those kind of things. It makes me feel uncomfortable. I get weirdly anxious about it in case I get it wrong for no reason, no logical reason. And I just dislike it. So I have to let somebody else know I need to do that thing because I like the accountability. And then I need to look beforehand. I need to almost check it out and see what I need first and then have a breather from it. And then go back to it and do it. And I set a timer for myself. And I say, right, you've got 10 minutes, timer on, 10 minutes to do this. And after that, you're going to get up and you're going to go and do something fun, whatever that is. But I need that deadline to motivate me. Not everybody will need that, but it might be a useful tool for you to do. So you're going to dump all of your stuff out. You're going to look at what is top priority, and you're going to find a way to make top priority happen, whether that's getting somebody else involved, whether that's putting a deadline on it, whether that's recognizing that if you don't do that thing, the outcome could be worse. Okay? This could be worse. So sometimes, for example, the car example I've just given, I need a new car and I need to get that new car by the end of this year, which seems a long time, but in car world right now, that it all has to be done in advance, right? Boring story, you don't care. So I do need to get it done very, very soon. And so in my mind, it's worse for me not to fill out that form, because if I don't fill out the form, the result of that will be that I'm left without a car and feeling more overwhelmed about where to even begin. So sometimes it's recognizing just ripping the bandage off to do the job quickly, move quickly, get some momentum will actually make me feel better. And if I don't do that, the outcome will be worse. So I need to find a way to flip it. Or perhaps I could look at it from a positive point of view and go, it's going to be ace to get a new car. It's going to be lovely to get a brand new car. And that's going to be a nice thing. So maybe you look at it, what will be the benefits of me actually doing this thing? It's a T-Rock as well. Kat says, have you seen the documentary on Channel 5 called ADHD, Not Just for Kids? I thought it might be one for you to watch. Oh, no, I haven't. I'll have to have a look at that. Yeah. Thank you for that, Kat. Kat says, I've done tiny bits every day the past 10 days in isolation, ready for the move tomorrow. I knew it was all I could manage each day. How perfect is that as an example? So Kat's moving and knowing that she wasn't feeling her best self, she's just done tiny bits. So I was saying to a client of mine this week, actually, that sometimes we have to put an upper limit on ourselves, okay? And Bex is saying, please can you help me what to write? I found some paper. So what to write, we're going to call this a brain dump, Bex, and you're just going to write down whatever the jobs are that you need to get done over the next week, or maybe you only do it for today. You can do this more than once, but whatever is going on in your head might be an emotional overwhelm. It might be things that you need to get done, and you're going to get this out on a piece of paper, because when you can see it in front of you, it is a lot less overwhelming than when it's up here. When it's in our heads, it can raise its head and we can think about it, and then it's going to go round again, and in 10 minutes time or an hour's time we're going to get that jolt of I need to do that thing, and then it's going to go round. When we can see it on a piece of paper and we can organize our thoughts and organize a time for us to do the thing or to address the thing, then we can keep an eye on it, right? When it's on the piece of paper, we can keep an eye on it. When it's in our head, it's going to float around. And when you write it down and you decide when you're going to do the thing, or you decide when you're going to acknowledge what's going on for you, let's say it's an emotional thing, you're feeling sad. When you acknowledge, I am feeling sad today, there's a shift that happens for us, and our brain can actually get a rest. Because when I think to myself, again, I'm going to use the car example. The other day when I was thinking, I need to get that car form done. I need to fill out the car form. I need to sign the car thing. That was running round and round until I wrote it down on my whiteboard, because I love my whiteboard and I could see it. So I was reminded about it, and then I wrote, I'm going to do this on, and I put a date in the diary, which was the other day. I'm going to do it then. And I put a limit on how long it would take me to do it. I set my timer and I got to work. Now, what I don't like us doing is going, I don't know, I'm going to do the form, but we don't have a time on it. And that can feel quite overwhelming. Well, how long is it going to take me? It could take me all day. And we almost can't even, it just feels too much. So we just don't start. Let's say it's tidying up. I hate tidying up. It's boring, right? I've got other things to do with my life than clear up all the time. And with 2 kids running around the house in isolation, that's all I'm bloody doing. So I might say to myself, right, I'm going to go 5 minutes. I'm going to tidy as much as I can in 5 minutes. But after 5 minutes, I have to stop. I can't then go to start digging out in the cupboards and clearing. No, because it will overwhelm me. Because then my brain will go, let's not even start. Because if we start, we'll have to clean under the stairs and we'll have to do the shed and we'll have to, no. 5 minutes, break everything down. Kat's been doing this. So she said it was all I could physically manage, really. So I had to accept that as best efforts or I'd make myself poorly. And the other important thing as well, in doing what Kat's done, by doing the bite-sized chunks, is you are still showing up for yourself. So you're letting your brain know, I'm still a person that shows up for myself. Rather than when we set these big unobtainable goals that we're not going to, in our times when we're feeling overwhelmed, be able to manage. Kat was not going to be able to manage packing up her whole house to leave to move in one day when she's feeling rubbish. Not going to happen. And if she'd put that expectation on herself, not only would she have not been able to achieve the job, she'd then have felt guilty and shame and embarrassment, and her brain would have went, see, we've let ourselves down. And she would have felt rubbish, doubly rubbish. So by setting things into bite-sized chunks like that, we are saying to our brain, I still show up for myself. I still show up. I know, right, it might not be might not got everything done that we wanted ideally, but we have to be realistic about how we are feeling on that day. We have to be mindful enough to go, I'm not up to it. Realistically, that doesn't mean not pushing ourselves a little to try and do things. Of course, it's not about lay down and just give up, but it's about being compassionate enough to yourself that you can recognize on those days and in those moments that you have to have another plan for it. So with one of my clients this week, we were working on this, an ideal plan for the week. And what happens if I'm not my best self today? What could I do? So we use the example of, on your best day, you could go to the gym and she could do an hour in the gym, right? On her best day. That would be a lovely ideal. If she woke up that day and she was really, really not good mentally, what could she do that would let her brain know, I'm still showing up for you. I'm still trying to stay healthy. I'm still doing things. And we came up with that. She felt comfortable tidying the house. So she would tidy the house as a way to declutter. That helped her mind, and also to still physically do something. So her brain could go, oh, we still did physical exercise today. We still showed up for ourselves. And that just alleviates the guilt that can go on top of that overwhelm. Okay, I hope that makes sense to everybody. So sometimes coming up with a plan. So once you've got your brain dump, I want you to look at all of those list of jobs and things that are happening and look at, how can somebody else help me? Is there anything on there I could get some help with? Is there top priority jobs on there as well? Yeah, Bex has just said, I do a plan A and a plan B. And always aim for plan A, but be compassionate enough to know that plan B is often good enough. You don't have to always go for plan A. You don't always have to achieve plan A. That's not going to be realistic all of the time. And it's okay that it's not. That doesn't mean that you're a rubbish person, because we're all the same. We're all the same, all of us. Every single one of you guys that is on this call is going to go through times when you feel good and times when you don't. And we don't always get to choose when that happens. So it's great to have an ideal plan. And then what happens if the shit hits the fan today and I just don't feel good, or something goes wrong and I don't want to not do anything, but I'm not up to this. What happens? What can I do? Because there's usually something you can do, even if it's something really small. So breaking it down, breaking those jobs down, having the thing, once you've broken it down. So let's say you do yourself a weekly plan, your plan A, next to it with the notes of what could this activity be if it's not that. I appreciate there's going to be some of those jobs that just have to get done. Those forms you need to fill out, the call you need to make at that specific time. There are going to be some things that are time restrained. So then it's a case of going, is there anybody that can be around? Is there anyone that can help? Is there anyone that could hold me accountable? Like, do I have a friend that I could message and go, I need to get this done today. I need you to be up my arse a little bit. I need some help. Is there, you can use the Happy Me Project Facebook group as a way for accountability. If you're not in my Facebook group, please join the Facebook group. It's awesome. It's an amazing community of people. And if you drop in there and you say, look, I need to get this form filled out today, or I need to go meet this person today, or I need to ring the doctor today and I don't want to do it and I'm going to avoid it like the plague. Can you hold me accountable? By just doing that, It's really helpful. Kat says, it's crazy how each and every day can go so differently. I almost shared an elephant yesterday and it was just that kind of day, but today it's more of a level-headed day. It's amazing, isn't it? So Kat's mentioning the elephant there, and I keep meaning to and keep forgetting to put this in the group. But in the Facebook group, we have come up with the wonderful team and community people have come up with the idea of when somebody needs some help, they just write elephant, or they put a picture of an elephant into the Facebook group, and then people will know that elephant means that they need some help and they need a listening ear. And then you don't have to say, hey, I need some help, because that feels a bit scarier. And it was a really good point that was made, that it feels like that, and it was Kat who made it. And so that is, for those of you that want that community to support, make sure to join the Facebook group, because that's a really good tool. And Bex is just saying, I really recommend what is it called? Timo app. It's fab. What is Timo app? You can tell me a little bit about that. Is that an organizational thing? Maybe I will have a little look at that afterwards. Fantastic. Okay, I'm just going to look at my notes here as well. What else was I going to say? Another thing is alarms. Setting alarms on your phone can be very useful. I'm a fan of the alarm, but putting alarms on your phone throughout the day for reminders, for when you've got to do a job, but setting a time limit on it, as I say, because it's helpful to know there's an end to stuff. Your overwhelmed brain, when you're feeling overwhelmed, that is nice to know that I only have to do this for this much time. It's not very long, is a nice feeling. And it just simmers that anxiety side of your brain that's feeling overwhelmed and doesn't want to do anything. Get perspective. Okay, that's another thing for us to do. Sometimes we put a huge amount of pressure on ourselves and we think, oh my God, my house has become a mess and I haven't done these things. And it feels like the bloody worst thing in the world. It feels like this massive big deal. When you gain perspective and you go, do you know what, there's bigger things happening in my world, in everybody's world, often we can take the pressure off ourselves. And go, does anybody, nobody cares. Nobody really cares if you're actually a bit late to something, or it's not as big a deal as we make it in our heads. And talking really helps. I know that we hear this said, and it's so easy to just be a meme on, or not a meme, a graphic on Instagram or Pinterest, but talking helps. Sharing what's going on for you can really help. So make sure that you do that. And Kat's just saying, even though I've just had a phone call appointment with the mental health team, basically saying bye, thinking it looks like I have to go on the wait list again from that's annoying. Not that feels, yeah, it's annoying, but you know what, Kat, you're very well versed in it. And it might well be that once you get started in it, they just put you back where you were. And it is what it is. And until that time, you have so many tools and support around you. And certainly in the community that we have here as well, you have that support, and you know a lot of the stuff, and implementing it doesn't always feel that easy, but you definitely have that support system there, and people who love and care about you, who will help to keep you on track until you get that next space with the mental health team, if and when you need it. Absolutely. Hannah's just saying that we're all here for you. And that's what my online community is all about. And I absolutely love that. For those of you that have never watched me before, I have lots of resources online, and I do show up on social media every day in some format. I've been doing loads of lives recently. I'll be back on tomorrow, and I will be in the Facebook group tomorrow. So if you want to come and chat to me tomorrow, I'm not sure what the topic will be yet. You guys can let me know what you want it to be. And on Sunday, I'm speaking to an amazing young lady from India who is going to be sharing her story with us on Instagram, on an Instagram live at 10 a.m. I am hollymatthews.com/allmystuff, where you can get all of my stuff, literally all of my stuff, where I've got online self-study courses. You can book to come and work with me one-on-one, where I will be sharing when I do group coaching stuff. The membership is on its way. And for those of you in the UK, I have a workshop, a live in-person workshop on Saturday, the 14th of August in Coventry in the West Midlands. It's 12 till 4, so you can totally do a day trip as well if you are a little bit further out from the Midlands, and come and hang out with me in a space where it's totally safe, dead chilled, really relaxed, no pressure. You can sit there in mute silence if you wish, but I will be teaching you lots of things out there for your mental health, how to feel more happy and less crappy. And I can see Bex is saying, I'm on the waiting list for ADHD and eating disorder. I'm here if anyone would like to chat. Thank you for sharing that with us, Bex. It's really brave to share those things with us, that you're going through those things. And absolutely, I'm sure that there will be people that would want to team up and to chat as well. And I can see Mary on Facebook is also just encouraging Kat. And I my optimism is always when it comes to you, Kat. I am very, very impressed by you as a person and your resilience, and I know that you have it in you, and I know that you'll be inspiring lots and lots of people who are also going through stuff as well. Hi Abby, hi lovely. So I can see Abby on Facebook as well. I am actually going to finish up, Abby, my lovely, but we've been talking about overwhelm. So sometimes it is just about getting stuff out in the open, out on paper. It is about timing things, putting an upper limit on how long you do something so your overwhelmed brain doesn't lose its mind. It is also about recognizing on the days where you can't do something, what is an option that you could do that's similar, that would just let your brain know that you are still an action taker, that you are still showing up for yourself, so you don't then pile on guilt and shame. Where can you seek out help or support or people just to be around when you're going through things and doing things and just judging you along a little bit? My space in the Happy Me Project is open for you guys to use that as a space for accountability always. And if I can help in any way, I certainly will. Book your spaces on my workshop, which is on Saturday the 14th. And I will see you guys tomorrow in the Happy Me Project Facebook group. I hope you are all amazing. And if you're not, that's okay as well. And I didn't even check in with you guys today, which is rubbish, but I actually have to go and blow up a water slide apparently. I don't know what I've got to do, but I hope you are well. And if you are not, just take some time today and I will see you all tomorrow. Speak to you all soon. Mwah. Peace.